Hey, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. Every week, I come into your life, at least I try to. If I'm not on the road, or I'm not in another state, or if I'm not speaking, but I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. Every week, I want to multiply your life. I want to multiply your money, and I want to multiply your business. So today's Super Coach is going to be on a topic that I talked with my team about this morning. If you watch the video that I put out, Coach got a little fired up this morning about energy and how to play at the next level. So I'm going to ask you a serious question, folks. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about getting better? How serious are you about going pro? How serious are you about leaving that old self behind? How serious are you about producing at a new frequency? That is the topic of today's Super Coach. I'm Coach Michael Burt, and this is Super Coach.
Everybody needs a coach in life. Coaching businesses and entrepreneurs like you to spike an additional 40% to your bottom line. Michael Burt is a multi-championship coach, best-selling author, trainer, motivator, and all-around super coach. Now, from the Greatness Factory Studios, this is Super Coach.
All right, folks, Coach Michael Burt. I'm at the Greatness Factory of Nashville. How do I look, Jack? Do I look like I'm in the dark, or do I look like I'm all lit up? We're getting the studio up and going at the Nashville Greatness Factory. When are you gonna come see us, man? We got office place for rent. We've got auditorium we're going to be using. We've got podcast studios. We've got cool scenery and views. Man, this is a place you're going to want to be. It's not the complacency factory, folks. Dadgum complacent people around the world. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the difference between greatness and complacency. High prey drive people, low prey drive people. We're talking about the difference between taking it all the way or taking it some of the way. We're talking about, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about going pro? And this is a decision. Man, there's so many Americans. The greatest fight we're in today is not a political fight. It's not a fight that like you think. What the greatest fight is, Kevin Jones and Scott Jacobs, is a fight against complacency. Complacency is a gradual settling to a place of mediocrity. So on a scale of 1 to 10, the question is, how serious are you about playing at the highest possible frequency? And you say, well, I'm serious, Coach. I'm real serious. Most of America's playing. They're not serious. Because if they were serious, they would get serious in all 4 parts of their nature. They would get serious in the body. They would get serious in the mind. They would get serious in the heart. They would get serious in the spirit. They would wake up every day. They would pursue their potential. They would have a sense of intensity. Like when I talk about prey drive, they've got an urgency. They've got a persistence. They've got an intensity. They're tired of messing around, folks. You got to get tired of messing around. And you got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired of the results that you're getting. So when I'm talking to a person in the sales cycle and they say they want to play at another frequency, they want to make more money, they want to get to a higher level. Oh, I want to talk to you this week, Coach, about coaching. Then I ask them a very simple question, Dominique, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? Are you at a 2? Are you at a 5? Are you at a 10? Because if you're at a 10, you're ready to go. If you're at a 6, you're ready to go. Maybe if you're at a 2, you're just playing around, man. You're still an amateur. So what does it look like to go pro? What does it look like to play at the highest levels? I was watching last night Super Soul Sunday, a replay with Oprah Winfrey and Phil Jackson. And Phil Jackson won 11 rings with the Chicago Bulls and the Lakers. And I was stepping back, and what really occurred to me was that Phil Jackson made a decision to be so much more than just a basketball coach. He was deep into Zen. He was deep into the whole person, building a higher level consciousness. He was deep into connection. He made a decision to be world class at what he's doing. That's the decision that he made. That word decide means to kill off, right? So when you're thinking about it, he's not just a basketball coach. right? I've made a decision to build greatness factories, to be an entrepreneur, to invest in millions of dollars of real estate, to play at the highest frequency, to go pro in my body, to get better mentally, to get tougher emotionally, to deepen my spiritual self. Like, I've made a decision to go pro, man, because on a scale of 1 to 10, old coach is at a 12, maybe a 12.5, or maybe a 15. So for you, I look at people out in the world and I go, man, that dude's not serious. She's not serious. If they were serious, they'd show up every day. If they were serious, they'd prospect every day. If they're serious, they would commit every day. If they're serious, they would be willing to do the inconvenient. If they were serious, they wouldn't ask about what's in it on the front end. They'd be saying, let me show you how good I am, coach. Let me show you how hard I can work. Let me show you what I can do. Decide, kill off, right? And that is really only a decision that you can make. So if you're out there today, this is a great sales question. If you're selling houses, if you're selling mortgages, if you're trying to build a team, if you're trying to build a culture, this weekend I'm speaking in Dallas, Texas. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about building a high pre-drive culture? How serious are you about holding people accountable? How serious are you about showing up every day? How serious are you about doing the inconvenient that it takes? So when you're thinking about it, this is really a determination. I'm going to look up that word right now and share it with you, because this is really the determination you got to make. Definition of inconvenience. Success is built on the back of inconvenience. Trouble or difficulty caused to one personal requirements or comfort. Okay? Similar. Let's go down. What does it mean to be, right? What does it mean to be inconvenienced in life? Merriam-Webster says this. Here's the definitions. The quality or state of being inconvenient. That's a good one, okay? To cause problem or trouble, subject to inconvenience. Synonyms: aggravation, annoyance, bother, right? Bugbear. I don't understand that one. Exasperation. Okay, here's a synonym: discommode. Oblige. Okay? Inconvenience, folks. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about playing at the highest level, and are you willing to be inconvenienced? Now, you may be saying to me, Coach, I want to be successful, but I don't want to be inconvenienced. I want to be successful, but I don't want to prospect 2 hours a day. I want to have great abs, but I don't want to go to the gym. I want to make $1 million, Jonard, but I don't want to do what it takes, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, you're really not that serious, right? So when I'm selling and super coaches about how to multiply your money, I have a very simple cycle. I cultivate in my mind every night before I go to bed. I cultivate my hit list, and my hit list are people I think I can help with my services, and that is, what product or service do I have that can solve a problem for another person, i.e., how do I use my unique skill set, my unique talents to solve a problem for another person where there's an exchange, and the exchange is they're paying their money in exchange of my skill set to solve their problem. In essence, my past helps them build their future. Our publishing division helps people write their book that they want to write, right? Our marketing division helps them get up their funnel so they can get going with their leads that they need. My selling system that I did last week at the lodge helps people to generate leads and work a selling system so they can hit their goals. Okay? So when you think about it, how do you go out every single day and say, man, my skill set can solve your problem? I'm not selling a product. I'm not selling a service. What I'm really selling is a solution to a problem. So every day I wake up and I do things I don't want to do. I initiate. I text message. I video. I reach out. I push. I create. I initiate. Then I disarm, right? Then I locate a problem. And then I offer a compelling solution. Like this month in Monster Producer, if you want to sit in on the class, we're going to allow people to sit in on the class. You need to let Eric White know that you want to sit in on this month's course, because I'm going to be teaching how do you explain your value in a world-class way. How do you build momentum toward the close? How do you have the guts to get in front of people and make a pitch? It's all inconvenient, by the way. Most people want guarantees. They're not willing to do the inconvenience, right? I coached year 1, year 2, year 3 as a high school basketball coach for $2,000, Dominique, for $2,000 a year, because I believe every day at my current job is an interview for my next job. I believe every day with your current customer is an interview for your next customer. So I don't need the money up front. I just need to show you that I can do it. I need to show you that I can create value for you. I need to show you that I could solve a problem for you. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about solving the problem? Now, when you're selling something, if you're trying to sell a person something that's not a big problem, or on a scale of 1 to 10, they're not that serious about solving that problem, or maybe they're not that serious right now about solving that problem, then you're in trouble, because they're not going to take action. You have to show them how your solution can solve their problem. I want you to write this down. Is it simple? Is your solution simple? Is it invaluable? Like, do they have to have it? Is it aligned with where they're trying to go? Big mistake I see a lot of people make is you're trying to sell me things that are not aligned with what I'm trying to do. And is it a priority? Like, I think about the people I refer right now. I think about the people in my life right now. They're in the flow and frequency with me. Some of them have greatness offices here at the Greatness Factory. They're in the flow. They're in the frequency with me. They're in my life. They're right there. So if they're trying to sell me something, they should ask me a simple question on a scale of 1 to 10. How serious are you about solving this problem? Are you willing to commit money to it? Are you willing to commit resources and time and energy to it? Because if you're not, then you're not that serious. When we come back in the second segment, I'm going to show you how to use this question. This is a very, very good question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a priority of this is to? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much money are you willing to devote to this? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much sweat equity are you willing to put in? On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about playing at the next level, folks? Because if you're serious and there's certain things you got to do, a good indicator that you're not serious is that you don't put time, energy, money, resource. It's not a commitment if you don't put time and energy and money and resources and have some speed with it. I'm Coach Michael Burt. You're watching Super Coach.
Being coached by coach is awesome. Everybody needs a coach in life.
So it's intense. I feel like my favorite part about it, honestly, is it makes you stop and think, but then act right away. So for me, my switch was flipped.
Being around the people that are at this event, being around Coach Michael Burt and everything that he kind of like instilled in me in the past couple days, it was just incredible experience.
All I'm gonna tell you is that you guys are missing out if you're not here. Within the first minutes of me walking in here, my money was already paid. And it's not only gonna be just the people and the environment, it's the things that you can notice, the small things that you can notice.
After I met him, I came back home and I had a different energy with me. And that energy allowed me to fuel my business and completely grow it.
He is the real deal. What you see online or anywhere else on social media, he's that same guy in person. And so I really found him to be authentic and relatable to me.
I came to flip the switch, basically to activate the Prey Drive. I feel like I was operating at amateur, and I'm leaving here today just like, not even pro, like a whole nother level. So if you're watching this video, you already know it's something you need to do.
Welcome back to Super Coach. I'm Coach Michael Burt. I'm here at the Greatness Factory of Nashville. In town taking meetings this week, making plays, making moves. Be headed to Dallas, Texas this Thursday to speak at the Big Symmetry event. And just came off a 4-day boot camp, 2 days on the Monster Growth Selling System, which is my unique selling system to help you play at a higher frequency, get more leads, generate more business, close more deals. And that is what we teach in Monster Producer. So I would love for you to sit in on my Monster Producer coaching session, February the 10th. We're going to give you a spot. I'm going to be breaking down how to build world-class explanation of value, how to perform at a much higher frequency. Man, we got to make a decision. We absolutely have to make a decision. So if you're out there and you're watching me or you've been following me and you're serious about playing at the next level, how serious are you? Are you serious enough to get on the same page with me? Are you serious enough to get in a rhythm? Are you serious enough to show up at the lodge? Are you serious enough to commit 2 days? Are you serious enough to invest in your coaching? Are you serious enough to play at this frequency? It's a great question, isn't it? The quality of the answers is predicated by the quality of the questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about performing at that next frequency? And when you're selling people, to me, when I get on the phone with people, the very first thing I say, man, is Eric White put me on the phone with me. He only puts me on the phone with people who are serious. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? And you're only serious if you're willing to commit time, energy, resource, and to commit money to this. You're not serious if you're not willing to commit money. If you don't have the money, can you go find the money? Can you go produce the money? If you had to go out today and produce X number of dollars, could you do it? I could. I could go put deals together. I could go make it happen. I could go find the money. I could go raise the capital if I had to do it, and I was real serious about it. I remember, Jack, when my daughter Ella Grace was born, I was in Florida. And I was down there writing a book by myself. Natalie was back here in Tennessee, and she went to see the doctor, and the doctor told her that she had to have an emergency C-section. This was weeks and weeks and weeks before Ella Grace was supposed to be born. I'm in Florida. She calls me crying. I got to go to the doctor. I've got to have an emergency C-section. I got to have the baby right now, right? And I'm like, dang. I'm not missing my child being born. So I'm finding a plane. Well, there wasn't any planes to find, so I'm like, I'm finding a private jet, man. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious am I? I'm serious enough to spend any amount of money to get on a private jet. This is back years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I'm serious enough to find a person who's got a private jet to fly me back to Tennessee. That's how serious I am. Now, the doctor ended up making a mistake. He had the wrong charts. He thought he was looking at the wrong person. She didn't need to have an emergency C-section. What a big mistake that was. And I didn't need to fly back from Florida. But on a scale of 1 to 10, man, I was serious about finding somebody who could do me. So here's the deal. You don't have enough desperation in life. This is a big part of what I talk about in Pray Drive. You know, I'm writing the new book called Flip the Switch, How to Activate the Pray Drive in You and Your Team. And you need some desperation. You need some fear. You need some anger. You need some conflict. You need to get to this freakish level, right? To get to another level, man, you need something to get more serious. You don't get that way when you're in a comfortable state. You don't get to the kind of freakish level, the monster producer level I'm talking about, when you don't play at this level. So I want to encourage you. I really want to encourage you. If you want to play at the next level, like I was looking at a video a minute ago, is when I was even in better shape than I am now, and I need to get in there and get my upper body stronger, right? I got to get serious about getting my upper body stronger. And here's the deal: on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious am I? Serious enough to get up at 5 a.m. to be there at 6 a.m. to work out for 45 minutes, to be inconvenienced, right? Or do I want to go out for a walk and get some exercise and burn 50 calories? Like, how serious are you, man? Do you want to make $1 million? How serious are you? Do you want to play at the next level? How serious are you? Do you want to keep doing what you're doing? On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? So this is a question that I really want to teach you to ask other people. Like, you seem interested, but on a scale of 1 to 10, you don't seem that interested. Right? Like, we've called you 7 times and you haven't taken action. You've sent me 7 text messages and flirted with what's going on. You've told me you're going to do this 15 times with your life. You told me you're going to get on the diet. You're going to lose the weight. You're going to get in better shape. You're going to perform at a higher frequency. You're going to make more money. How many times have you got to basically BS yourself, man? Until you say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm 100% serious, man. If there was a 12, I'm a 12. Now, how does this happen in life? And as you know, I'm writing this book, Flip the Switch. I'm about to go away, and I'm about to lock myself up for days, and I'm about to get really serious about digging into the deep psychology of this. And, you know, I really, really do believe you got to have some negative emotions in life to get to this place. I do not think a good life or a positive, comfortable life produces these kind of outcomes. To get to this freakish level, there's got to be some conflict, some expectation, some disappointment, some anger, some hurt, some jealousy, some something, right? You're just not going to get there going at a very comfortable pace. So if you're out there and you're watching the show today, you're like, man, Coach is right. I'm at a comfortable pace. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm operating at a 4 or 5. Some of you are living in false positive, straight up false positive. And straight up false positive means you've lulled yourself into believing you're real good, and you ain't that good. And you can use any metrics you want to use. If you want to use financial metrics, let's use some financial metrics. If you want to use potential metrics, let's use potential metrics. But you're lying to yourself. There's always a person playing at a higher level. There's always a person doing it at a freakish level. There's always a person doing it at a level higher than us. And until we get real, Kelly, until we get real with ourselves and we confront the brutal facts then we continue living in a world of false positive. And I don't want you to live there. A good coach will not let you live there. And I'll give you one more example, and then we'll shut the show down today, is that when I was a women's basketball coach, man, we would go out and beat people we would win 20 games year after year after year, but we couldn't win a championship. And we were living in this false positive. And other coaches would tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, you ain't that serious about winning a championship. Because if you was that serious about winning a championship, you would play a much tougher schedule. You would get serious. You would practice harder. You would learn under somebody. You would see what other people were doing. Like other people would tell me, right? And this is what I needed them to say. I remember leaving a game one night, and I had on this. I dressed sloppy that day, and I had on khaki pants and a sweater that was too big for me. And Kyle Turnham, who was the men's coach, called me over there to him, and he said to me, "Do you want to be a head coach one day?" I said, "Absolutely. That's my dream. That's my goal. That's what I want to do." And he said, "Don't ever wear that sweater again. Don't ever look that sloppy again. Don't ever dress like that again. If you have a desire to play at a higher level." Now, if you don't have a desire to play at a level, keep looking sloppy, keep goofing off, quit playing around, keep playing around, keep dressing like a bozo, but you ain't getting to the next level looking like that, man. And I didn't like that. Man, I was 21 years old. I don't even know I was 21. I think I was 19. I was like, who the hell does he think he is? He ain't even my boss. He's a men's coach. He's the men's coach. And he's right. I was a women's coach, but man, it was the best thing he could say to me. I've never forgotten that. I'm thankful he said that to me, because what he was really saying is on a scale of 1 to 10. How serious are you? Because you don't look serious at all. I went back and watched the Ed Mylett speaking engagement at Door to Door, because Mylett was on fire. Guys like us, man, we look for a reason to just get good and pissed off, Jack. We look for anything. Like, I'm going to release our team meeting this morning. It was powerful, because I just got on a click about being tired, about walking around like you're tired, about looking like you're whipped. You know, here we are in the energy business. I'm like, now ain't nobody on my team going to walk around like they're tired. I don't care if you can't see straight. On a scale of 1 to 10, you ain't serious about nothing. And people need to see that raw, pure passion. Like, this is how you freaking do something big, man. And I'm watching Mylett, and Mylett's talking, man. He gets so worked up because a dude in the audience was not taking notes. And he goes on this rampage about who do you think you are? You're too good to take notes. I'm worth $500 million. You're trying to learn something from me, and you're too good to take notes here? Like, who don't take notes, man? And I loved it. And what he kept saying is, man, you've gotten too casual with your potential. You've gotten too casual with where you are. You've gotten too casual with where you're going. You've gotten too casual with your dreams and hopes. Man, you're playing like a little kid. Now, at some point, folks, we leave our amateur desires behind and we make a decision to go pro. And that decision is body, mind, heart, spirit. So if you're out there watching me, next Wednesday I'm doing Monster Producer. If you want to sit in on it, I'm making a big push. I'm giving it to anybody who wants to watch it for this month to see what it's like, to see if you like it. Monster Producer is currently at $14.97 per year and includes a Monster Growth Bootcamp, which you absolutely need to get your booty to. It'll change your whole deal. I've got Person of Interest February 17th and 18th. We've just opened up 20 spots to watch it virtually at $4.97. If you're interested in being a known quantity in the world, manning up, women up, being something big, doing something big, then you need to be a Person of Interest February 17 and 18. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? You can tell me all day long, folks. What really tells me is your actions. Will you commit money, resource, time, and will you be inconvenienced? I'm Coach Michael Burt. This has been Super Coach.
Being coached by Coach is one of the best decisions that I've made. I'm making 3 times more money than I was before working with him.
Coach has this energy that when you leave, you feel like you have just started the best and newest venture ever.
He broke it down from the A to the Z. Great material, amazing guy. Plan on being here the following year as well.
This guy operates at a whole nother level of greatness. His legacy selling system, $1 million follow-up, and becoming a person of interest, systems, and methodology has taken me to a whole nother level in my life and in my business.
I find Coach very humble, but he's also very direct. And when he looks at you, he's looking right into your eye, and he believes in what he's doing, and that gives me the confidence to believe in what I need to do.
A coach is to get you to perform and execute at a much higher level, and I'm super excited to have Coach Burt in our business and my life.
I have the utmost respect for Coach because what he gives us, he's walking in his own life, and he makes that transparent to us. So I get chills when I talk about him like I'm getting right now.
Coach not just talks it, he walks it. He lives it, his team lives it, his people here. You feel it when you walk into the room, you can tell. It's organized, it's structured, it's intentional.
Every single time it reactivates my prey drive, makes me want to be just more and more a part of getting that content internalized for myself and also getting that out to my team.
Something magical about being coached by Coach. You know, he looks you in the eye, he tells you maybe not always what you're looking for, but he tells you exactly what you need to hear.
Taught me how to structure my system, taught me how to structure my business, taught me how to sell on my beliefs. And I'm telling you, if you have any reserves, if you're second guessing, should you come and get around Coach, you don't need to think no more. You just need to take actions and trust your instincts, because getting around Coach in this environment and his energy will take your game to that next level, take your thought process to that next level.